Hello everybody and welcome to Mobility. First things first, if you're going to track it, don't forget to start it now. Even for cool down, it counts, right? So for today, you don't need any equipment at all. We're just going to do a mix of both mobility and flexibility. So all you need is a bit of space, maybe a mat as well if you want it, but apart from that, we just stretch. So what I'd like you to do to begin is have a lie down on your back, pop your feet flat on the floor. From there, we're just going to go some hip bridges, just to get some activations and blood flowing to the glutes and the legs. So heels flat on the floor, turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Squeeze up and then lower to tap the bum on the floor, but we don't rest it, so just a tap, press up, tap, press up. So the palms face the ceiling, and that'll just help to open up the chest a little bit and the shoulders. Nice. Now this time, I want you to squeeze up, come down an inch, back up, and then to the floor. So up, down an inch, back up, to the floor. So you just get that little pulse, only slow at the top. You should feel a little bit more intensity in the glutes and the hamstrings as you do that. Hopefully you feel it getting a bit warmer, a bit of heat in there. Let's go two more. And one more. Nice. Rest down on the floor. This time we're going to do a similar thing, but just on one leg. So lift the right leg off the floor ever so slightly and push hard through the left foot, lifting the hips up and down. Just tapping on the floor with each one. We'll go for 6. 3, 4, 5, 6, and swapping over legs. Right foot goes on the floor, and lift the left. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. Now we've got a bit of warmth into the glutes. We're going to go into a glute stretch. So pop your left ankle on top of your right knee, reach through and grab the back of your right leg. So reach through that triangle between the legs so you can get hold of the right leg. Sometimes people try and get around the back from the outside of the leg, but there's a big gap between the legs, just go for that one. Now use the left elbow to squeeze the right leg away just a little bit. Just get a deeper stretch in that left glute. Nice, and try and pull in just a touch further. Just try and get a little deeper into that stretch. Nice. Now we swap over legs. So the right foot onto the left knee. Reach through and pull it in towards you. Just hold it in. Nice, and try and squeeze a little further. Remember, you've got that option to push away with that elbow, just to try and deepen the stretch a little bit if you need. Nice, guys. Now release the right leg, grab hold of the left leg, just above the knee, and squeeze it in towards you, so you feel a stretch in that left hamstring. So I've just got my right foot flat on the floor at the moment, looking for that stretch down here, down the back of that left leg. And swapping around legs, left foot on the floor, grab the back of your right leg, just pull that in towards you. Nice, so just going to do one more each side. Grab the back of the left, squeeze that in. Nice, swapping up the legs. So if you find yourself losing the stretch, guys, just kind of go back to the basics. Have you started to bend the knee a little bit? If you bend the knee, where the hamstring inserts just below the knee will shorten. So if we straighten the leg and then pull it in, you'll find straight away you get a deeper stretch without going as far. The other option, if the leg is still straight, is if you just release tension a little bit. Could you just squeeze in a little more to get a deeper stretch in there? So try them too. So go back to the basics. Do you just need to straighten the leg? Do you just need to pull it in a little further? Nice, guys. Release it there. And if you come to seated, we're going to do a hurdle stretch. So set yourself up with your left leg in front of you, around 90 degrees, about 90 degrees at the right as well. Lift the chest and just lean forwards into it, so you feel a nice stretch through that left glute. Now, as I do it, if I just lean over it and arch my back, I can't really feel it there. But if I lift the chest to tilt the pelvis, you should feel it move on the floor as you lift the chest up, and then lean forwards into it. You get a much deeper stretch in that glute. So it's like the stretching equivalent of, it's not what you lift, it's how you lift it. It's not what you stretch, it's how you stretch it. Nah, it doesn't have the same ring to it, does it? And swapping over sides. So bring the right leg round. 90 degrees at both knees. We lift the chest, lean forwards into it. I'm worried I'm maybe a little bit too close to camera, so apologies. And as well, I've just filmed, it was like 10-15 minutes ago, hit from earlier in the week as well. So in other words, I'm a sweaty mess. Hopefully, by the time I've actually done this, when I get my hair cut next, I'm not booked an appointment. No, probably still haven't got my hair cut by the time you're watching this. I might have actually. We'll see. Find out Wednesday Night Live, if you flick back to it after this, did I get my hair cut? Because it's a mess. You might have heard me mention in swapping over legs, guys. Was it in HIIT or was it in dumbbell? So that lifts the chest, lean forwards into it. Someone described my hair as like or in her words, a bog brush. I took my hoodie off and it's kind of like ruffled my hair up at the side like it does. She's like, Mike, when are you getting a haircut? I was like, soon. Why? She's like, you look like a bog brush. I was like, thanks. Lovely compliment. Nice. Can you lean a little further forwards into it? Yes, guys. And one more swapping over. Right leg comes forwards. 90 degrees at both knees. Lift the chest. Lean forwards into it. I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to you. I'm going to come back, don't worry. And lean in. Now, hopefully, all of this, glutes, hamstrings, should have got hips nice and mobile. So after this, in 5 seconds, we're going to do a little bit of hip mobility as well. So bring it up. Now, it's what we call figure of fours. So sit yourself up in that same kind of position. So I'm turning sideways on so you can see. It doesn't really matter too much for you. So I've got 90 degrees at both knees. I'm going to lift the chest, and then I'm going to rotate so I come around the other way. So figure of four, both each way, and then rotating from side to side. So if you imagine the hip joint now, you've got the ball and socket. As we rotate, it's just turning in its full range down to the opposite way. I'm going to have to keep coming back because you tend to walk yourself forwards as you do this movement. Just keep rolling side to side, keeping the chest up. If you need to, you can put your hands behind you, but I want you to try and get the body as far forward as you can as you do these. So keep the chest up, lean forwards. Like I say, use the hands behind you if you need to push yourself up. Nice. Go one more each way. Nice, guys. Press it there. I'm bringing it back up. So this time we're going to go into a hip flexor stretch. So what I'd like you to do is come to kneeling. Sit yourself up. So you've got your right knee on the floor, left leg is just in front of you. Lean forwards into it, but you want to tilt the hips forwards and then lean forwards into it. So you feel a nice stretch down that right hip flexor, just down the front of that right hip. Lean forwards into it, keep that chest up and lifted. I'm just going to hold it here for about 10-15 seconds. 5 seconds. And then we swap over legs. So left knee on the floor, right foot forwards, lean forwards into it. A little tilt under the hips as you lean forwards, just get that stretch down the hip flexor. So if you are a runner, for example, generally runners find they get quite tight hip flexors. If you spend a lot of the day sat down at a desk, hip flexors get tight because you imagine in that seat position, your hip flexor here is just kind of in that shortened position all day. Nice. And swapping around again, one more each side. Right knee on the floor, left leg forwards, lean forwards into it. Just holding that stretch. Sock stops rolling down anyway. And swapping over. So relatively new socks. Very bright patches on them. I was like, I wonder how long they'll stay that bright. John's been worn a few times, been washed a few times. Nice, guys. Now we're going to swap over sides again. This time something slightly different. So we're still going to lean into it, but not as far. Right knee on the floor, and then right hand goes on the outside of your left knee. And use that to just twist. So if I turn my angle a little bit, So right hand on here, and we'll just use that to rotate and twist. Holding it there for just about 15 seconds. Nice, and swapping over. So bring right leg forwards, left knee on the floor, left hand on the outside of the right knee, and use that to rotate and twist. Nice guys, relax it there. And if you come back to seated, back to lying in fact. So staying with a little bit of rotation. So lay flat on the floor, arms out to the side with the palms facing the ceiling. Bring the knees up and the feet up so you've got 90 degrees at hips and knees. Drop the knees over towards me, keeping the shoulder blades flat on the floor. Once you've got them there, you can pop your left hand, or whichever hand is next to the knees, on top of the knee just to try and ease it in a little bit further. So you feel that rotation through the spine, maybe all the way up the side of the body, into the chest and into the shoulder. Then bring it up, over to the back of the room. Use that hand to ease it in a little bit if you need, making sure that shoulder blade stays flat on the floor, you're not rolling over. If you do find that you can't keep the shoulder blade on the floor, just keep the feet slightly lifted, or try and let the toes touch the floor. If you just need to drop the feet, but keep the knees up. Nice, bring it over, knees up, all the way over to the front. Now it might feel tighter on one side than the other, so for me, coming over to the left, I feel that stretch at the right hand side of the body feels much tighter than when I go the other way. Side needs to do a little bit more, isn't it? Nice guys, and one more to the back of the room. Nice, bring it back to centre. So we're going to do a similar thing now guys, but we're just going to keep it moving. So lift the knees to where you were before, arms out to the side. I want you to drop over to the front of the room. As soon as you're there, come back up, over to the back of the room. Just a slow, steady movement. Over and sweep. Nice, just going to go for a couple more each way. Nice, one more each side. Nice guys, rest it there. Now while we're here on the back, place your feet flat on the floor, pop the elbows flat on the floor, and from there, set the back of the hands, rotate up towards the ceiling. So the back of the forearms are on the floor, or as close to as you can, just so you feel the chest and shoulders open up a little bit. I'm just going to hold it there. Now while you're there, just take a few deep breaths. So inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Same again, we'll do 3 more. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go for 2 more, I'll stop counting. One more. Nice guys, and rest it there. Bring yourself up seated, whenever you're ready. We are done. 14 minutes, 20 seconds. I was aiming for about 15 minutes, and it's the first time I've ever been under. Anyway, I will leave you to it. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, guys. Take care, have a nice weekend, and I'll see you back in here for next week. If you are doing the other classes from earlier in, the ones that are scheduled Monday, Tuesday, Thursday in the week, next week things ramp up a little bit. I've got to be honest, I'm not looking forward to recording them. I've got to talk and breathe. I think it's going to be a challenge, but we're getting fitter, right? We can do this. We can do this. Anyway, I'm going to leave you to it. Have a lovely weekend, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.